This is Endless Space. Um, yes, this is the Steam version of Endless Space. It's a game that just came out. Doesn't seem like many people really know what this game is. I didn't really know what it is when I got it. So I thought I'd just make a little video kind of checking it out. So this is a game I've been playing a little bit. Single player. It's probably about 3 or 4 hours worth of a game. So when you start, you just have one planet, which obviously you can see I've gotten a lot farther than that now. So all this blue is all the planets I own, or all the technically these are systems. These little dots, these are the planets. So I'm just gonna run down the line of what all this stuff is. So this right here is my galaxy view, which is this. Shows all my systems. This was the first one I started out with, and I had one planet on this system, which I believe was this one right here. So these were unavailable to me to colonize at first. I had to go to this up here, which is my research and research abilities over here that allowed me to colonize other planets. So this is, while we're here, we'll just talk about this. This is our little research spec. We got galactic warfare, sciences, exploration, expansion, and diplomacy. So I've been putting a lot into my kind of evening out everything, but currently I'm focusing a little more on combat because people are coming and trying to attack me, and I got pirates coming after me, but we'll get into that later. So let's go back to the galaxy map. So when you have your first planet, or your first system, you have these exploitations that you can add to each planet, and right here we have is called our FIDs, which is basically kind of like your resources for your planet, and these are your exploitations. You can only have one per planet, and you can have 6 planets per system at most. This system currently only has 3. So I have each planet has a different exploitation kind of going on, and then we'll just go check this out. This is our system map. As you can see, I got some systems that aren't really quite happy with me, but you can assign heroes to different systems, and that'll kind of give them some boosts. But here's their FIDs, and this is their production queue. So currently, I renamed this planet Endor. That was my original system. So we'll look at this one. So this is my production queue. Right here is a list of everything in order of what's being built. And over here is a list of things that can be built. So you can switch between system improvements or ships that I want to build. And currently I'm working on a lot of ships because I got a kind of a low military. So I can adjust my tax rate to make people like me or hate me less, but I've been kind of just rolling with whatever that's at. This is my dust, which is my money. It's kind of been going down at a steady rate, so I'm trying to build that back up. But yeah, so from here I can come and kind of queue up things. So since I talked about heroes, let's look at that. These are the 3 heroes I have hired, and these are ones I can hire. But it hasn't been able to. It won't let me add anymore for some reason. It says my academy's full. So but I can kind of assign them to a fleet or assign them to different systems, and they can give boosts to either one. Currently, they're all assigned to systems. Okay, so it's all kind of so this is basically Civ in space. It's all turn-based. If I end my turn, moves will happen. But currently, I have an attack going on. This is a pirate kind of attacking one of my systems, and I have ships here ready to go after them, and I'm going to wait to get into that so you can see some of the combat. But let's look at a system that has some ships kind of hanging out. So, didn't mean to click on. All right, so this system, if I click on this, this is my hangar. And if I click here, it shows the ships I have in my hangar, which is only 1. And I'm just going to, this is a fleet I have, so I'm just going to drag that ship into this fleet. And now this is this fleet, which I can still add more, but if I have this selected, when they're in this system, they're just going to kind of guard it, and any ship that flies in there, they'll just start attacking. So I'm kind of getting attacked from both fronts, and I've already kind of run through this scenario because I saved right before this, so I know after I attack these, chances are pretty good. This is another, I guess, civilization. It's another alien race kind of in this world I have, and they're not too happy with me for some reason. They think my military is weak, so I know they're declaring war on me real soon. But first I'm going to take care of these pirates, and then I'm going to... So I want to have some ships kind of in these areas where I might get attacked. So there's a pretty good number of fleets here. So I'm going to select them and tell them to move over here, which they're not going to start doing that until I end my turn. So, and then right here, so here's a ship or here's a hangar that only has ships in there, which this is a missionary. This is what you use to colonize planets. Basically, I would send this to a system. These gray ones are not colonized, and then so as you see, I had to click create to get him outside. So then I would click this, and they would colonize a planet. So why don't I? This one doesn't have any. All right, so you can see this trail kind of shows he's going to move there. What's this? I have a few fleets here because I know over in this direction there's some pirates as well. So these pirates have been kind of giving me trouble for a little while now. So before I end my turn, I just like to make sure every planet's doing something. You can see this little 9 right here by the research kind of indicates how many turns I have left until that thing is completed. And it's kind of the same thing when I go on my production queue. Like, this is the amount of turns it's going to take. Or I can just click this to buy it out immediately, but I don't need to do any of that right now. Alright, so we're just going to get into this combat situation. So I'm going to take... The combat's something I haven't quite figured out as much. This game is heavily tutorialized. It doesn't seem like there's actually a story or campaign or anything. You just click first person. It's all just kind of skirmish stuff. There is an online that I haven't tried yet, but... So this is kind of my military view. This is a list of all of my fleets and all that. Over here, these are schematics or ship designs that you start off with some automatic ones, and then you can create. So I can just go to add. And this is creating a ship. So I'd have to name it before I can create it. It actually took me a while to figure that out. So I can just select which kind of blueprint I want. This is my battleship. And then I just start adding modules, like give me a bunch of lasers, give me a bunch of missiles, give me a bunch of guns. And then give me armor, and so on and so forth. And then we got support. And then over here, see, it adds weight. So this builds up, and then once you fill that, you can't add anything else. All right, so I'm just going to name it, and I'm not going to keep this one, so I'm just going to show you. And you just click Create, and there it is. You can kind of see all the stats right there, but I believe this one is way better, so I'm just going to get rid of it. All right, so that's kind of the gist of it. So I've already ran through this. I want to send one of my weaker fleets over to attack this one, because then my smaller fleet is most likely going to lose, and then it'll at least weaken it for my next fleet. So when you finish a turn, these things usually pop up and show you what's completed and what's queued up on any of your planets. So I don't know why these guys aren't moving. I was having a little bit of trouble with this earlier. Just for some reason, I can't get things to move, but... Come on. All right, let me figure out what's going on here. So I'm just going to select all of them. Hey, go over there. Come on, do math. That's just a missionary. Let's send him over there. Yeah, see, why is nothing moving? Well, we'll just keep ending turns until somebody wants to move. Oh, great. Now they're invading that system. Huh. Everything was moving right before I did this. Yeah, so I feel like I've had this problem before where the game just it doesn't feel like it's giving you enough instruction, or it's not letting you do what you want to do when you were doing it before. Like, I was moving chips around no problem before, and now it's just like not letting me do anything. So I'm just gonna tell that survey something. What the fuck? And so I skipped a good portion of the tutorial. I'm gonna throw that out there. I just like to figure things out. Man, a lot of these things are weak. War has been declared and I am involved. So one of my allies... Oh, nope. Yeah, so those guys declared war on me. Oh yeah, see, now they sent a ship into my system. I feel like the game just like it doesn't want to let you do anything until it says it's okay. Because before all I was doing is clicking ships and telling them where to go. Hmm. Man. This is turning into a really bad look at this game. There we go. See? It didn't... There was no reason why that shouldn't have let me do anything before. Oh, now he's moving. So you see how it just like let me move and then now it says no? Alright, maybe because they moved already, so I'll try ending the turn. Yeah, okay, so when I get this, it tells me to execute all my planned moves. Alright, so this is kind of... I haven't really figured out the combat so far, but this is a rough estimate on how it's going to go, and I can already tell they're way stronger than me somehow. Alright, so I can kind of check out their stats and compare to what I have, which, I don't know. Alright, so we'll try the manual combat so you can actually see what's going on. So when you go into combat, they give you... It's all done automatically, but they give you these things you can do. So you just kind of select what you want to do at different ranges, and then it's going to play through the battle. So you can do this free camera option, but it's not really easy to use. Yeah, but this is about as actiony as the game gets, and you don't really get to control anything. It all just works on its own. And as you can see, they're just destroying me. Although I did do some damage to them, so that was just one of my fleets. So I will be able to pull out another one of my fleets in the next battle. And since I hurt them enough, I will probably win that time. Yeah, so I'm still trying to figure out the really good ship combination, like the ship designs. I kind of look at what they got when I get into battle, and then I mess with it a little bit. Yeah, so this one looks like it's going to go more in my favor, so that's because I already hurt them quite a bit. Unfortunately, that was my biggest fleet they just took out. So I haven't really figured out which of these work really well yet. I'm just kind of copying what I've seen the computer do. As I said, this game is mad tutorialized, so you can easily go back and read some of that stuff. But yeah, they only got... Yeah, looks like this one's going to swing heavily in my favor. I will say, this game is very easy to get into. I played quite a bit of it. This is probably about 4 hours in on this one game. My first game I played through, I didn't really know what was going on. It lasted about 30 minutes, and I was down to one system, so I just quit out and started a new game. And wow, they're really holding me off with one ship. That's not that good. Wow, really? At least I got one more fleet. Wow, that actually happened. Yeah, the combat in this game actually feels mad hard. I do not win very many battles. Something I really need to look into is getting some better ship layouts. I've just been kind of going with what I think seems to be working pretty well. All right. Man, I could actually lose this one, and that would just be a tragedy. I could autoplay the battle, but I feel like it doesn't really matter, and I'd rather give you something to watch. Alright, so they only got one ship. I got 3, and I would not be surprised if they still took this one. Looks like they do have a hero leading their fleet right there. It was a pretty high level. See, my fleets haven't had a hero with them. Looks like a bunch of crazy stuff floating around that. Or that's supposed to be like little ships or something. It looks like that was a bad choice. Wow, that really fucking happened. It really just all boils down to what kind of ship layouts you have. I mean, now I'm going to have to move other fleets over there. And unfortunately, while I was focusing on just building up my empire, it seems like all of my enemies were purely focused on building ships and military forces. So that's a pretty good one. So you guys move over there. All right, so I got a lot of ships in these hangars just kind of hanging out. So I can select a few and create a fleet, which that's a pretty good one. So go back to my hangar. Need one to defend me. All right. Oh, looks like this has got some going on too. All right, we'll just auto this one. I'm sure I'm going to lose it. All right. Yeah, and I took out 0 of their ships. All right, sweet. If I lose that one, I will just feel like the game is cheating me. All right. Yeah, looks like they won that one. I haven't won many battles. I was just having a lot of fun building up my empire. I feel like I just overloaded myself with systems too quickly, and then they all started falling apart. So while I was trying to build all my system improvements, I won that one. Everyone else was just building military. Yeah, that's definitely going to lose. So it didn't really turn out well for me in the end, but I still got a good military force in the center of my kind of, I guess, all my systems here, so still hoping that one can pull out for me. All right, and I guess that one can't move again here. So maybe if I... Oh, come on. Give me that over here. Alright, so... I guess I'll lose this one too. Although they are a little halved. And of course they win. Alright, so this has been my main ship-producing planet, and it seems to be that's all they got going on, so I'm just gonna build a lot more ships. Definitely gonna need some here. They got a lot of this going on still. Sure. See, that's the problem. A lot of my plants are building improvements right now, so... Sure, finish that. That's a lot of money still. Finish that. Alright. So every time next time I move, I'm going to finish some research here. Alright, I don't need to see my losses. But every time I finish research, I feel like I should always just be making new ship blueprints with the new stuff I got. So, what's that? Personal shielding. Yeah, it sounds pretty good. Alright, so that's got 11 turns to finish. So, I tell all my people to keep moving. Auto that one. Where's that? That's Vega. That's over here. And I won that one. Auto that one and lose. Hopefully they get... Yeah, see, that one's got a really big power. They destroyed all my ships. Awesome. You guys can go over there. Yeah, so it really looks like I should have focused more on my military. So... I guess after I lose this game, because these guys aren't going to stop invading me. These guys are literally attacking me because I thought I had a weak military. like we're suspicious of you for not focusing on military. I'm like, oh, that's wonderful. All right, so I can combine these two. Well, actually, no, I can't. All right, so this one's really good. So move there. And I'll end. Alright, well, I know this one's going to lose, so... Yeah, we'll manual this one. But that's kind of, what this game is. It's a little Civ-like, but it feels a little more, I don't know, I guess shallow compared to Sim. There's a lot more going on in Civilization, but give me that one. So we'll watch this one fail. I mean, it feels really just like a dice roll. I don't feel like there's any real strategy between manually operating combat because you don't know what they're going to take. You just gotta see what works best for you. I just don't understand how they cause so much damage like that. Like, I did very little, and all of a sudden they just destroyed me. They have no admiral. And our statistics weren't that far off. I don't know. Oh, boy. So I always feel like I should be building different types of ships just to get some variety in the combat, or, different ships are better at different things. But maybe I should just be building all of my big ships. So I'm just going to go see if I can design a new one. I just got an upgrade, so I'm going to pick my battleship, obviously my strongest one. And lasers seem to do really well. Missiles, I'm going to take out the railgun. That doesn't seem to do much. Definitely need some defense. So what's this? Deflection. Alright, that's for a railgun, so you know what? Let's get some plasma defense. That seems more for missile. What's this? Critical chance. Invasion. I'm not going to be invading. This is shielding. Yeah, give me some more shielding. Alright, we'll just call it new so I know what it is. And create. I forgot to look at the stats. So I'm just going to look at the stats and see what I got. Oh man, even that does, it's got a lot more missile than it does beam. Yeah, that seems to be working pretty well. No deflect though. So I can go back in and modify if I want. Alright, so give me one of these. And give me some deflect. Go back to weapon. I guess there's nothing I can add here. It's got a little bit of... Sure, what's this? Containers. Yeah, that's fine. Apply. Give me a little more deflect. Maybe that'll help. So I want to build a couple of those and then move those to the top of my queue. Screw it. Taking too long. So I can click these to cancel and build me a couple of those. Nope, don't need missionary. Alright, well, let's end a turn. Get some more ships pumping out. So this is my hero leveling up, and then I can go give him some abilities, which I just keep clicking the veteran ones. Alright, so now I'm going to need them to travel there. Create. So just one of those. Yeah, that's not bad. That gives me 7 for new, just one. I think I'm just going to create a bunch of those. All right, everybody keep moving. All right. Great. I'm going to combine these two. Oh, I guess I can't. So, you know, I can just disband and just drag what I can into there. Oh, no, that's the one I'm selected. Sorry. Are they really all full? Alright, well. Create. Yeah, so it says 7 out of 13. They didn't really explain. I figured that would just mean 7 ships, but obviously multiple ships account for just 1. So. Okay. Make sure they're attacking anyone who comes in. And let's get this battle going. Alright, is anybody not building anything? You have nothing going on. You're good. So, you're going to make some ships. Really? 6,000. Wow. Yeah, they have a lot of ships. Basically, it doesn't look like I'm just building enough ships. I think we're going to call it quits after I fail out of all these. Yeah, so basically it just looks like I need to start building some more ships. I don't have any going on, so. They're coming at me with like 20. Seems like a pretty big squadron, though. I can't even fit that many in a squadron. So I guess I'll just keep upgrading with my military and try to hold these guys off as quickly as I can. Considering they're just coming in and wiping out my entire fleets. So one thing about the diplomacy is, like, it doesn't give me options. Oh, it's never done that before. Is acceptable, is not accepted to us. What? It's a weird way to word that. Alright, so it looks like I can offer them things. I don't like that. See if I can negotiate a ceasefire. Offer. Alright, so give them that. Well, fuck you guys. Alright, give them Vega. I don't need that shit. Greedy ass bastards. Alright, well. Alright, well, I guess that's where we're going to call it. You watched me get my ass kicked for a little bit, and hopefully now you know what not to do when playing this game. So, it's definitely worth checking out if you like any kind of Civ game. I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to put some more time in it. Maybe I'll put another video up on my YouTube account. You can see where my progress is then, but thanks for watching.